This is the last part of the review, and this is the remainder theorem. And you've been doing this every time that you've been solving polynomials, right? You use you use the rational root test, and every time you use the rational root test anyway to solve polynomials instead of just being able to factor, right? We find some candidates and you use synthetic division or log division, and you look to see if you get a remainder of 0. And if you get a remainder of 0, then that's a factor. Well, that's all this is about. So the expression x plus 2 is a factor for the function f of x. What is the remainder when f of x is divided by x plus 2? Right? So for x plus 2 to be a factor, I'm going to put a big star by this so you remember this. I hate you to miss this question. The remainder when f of x is divided by x plus 2 must be 0. Right? That's the only way it's going to be a factor, right? Because we're looking for when x is 0. Right? That first one was pretty easy now, wasn't it? You just got to remember that. What is the remainder when 6x to the 5th plus 3x to the 4th plus 2x squared plus 24 is divided by x plus 3? Since we're dividing by a x plus or minus a constant, we can use synthetic division. Right? Now make sure that all terms are represented when you divide. There we go. Plus 3x to the 4th plus 0x cubed plus 2x squared plus 0x. Uh-oh. Can I squeeze in plus 24? Plus 24. All right, so we've got, and then remember for synthetic division, if you're using long division, you divide by x plus 3. But for synthetic, which is probably what you want to do, I know I choose synthetic division when I have a choice. Set x plus 3 equal to 0, right? And use that value. Don't use 3. Otherwise, you're dividing by negative 3. Right? So x plus 3 is 0. Then x is negative 3. All right? So we've got negative 3 outside the house, if you will. We have 6, 3, we use all the coefficients, right? 0 for the missing x cubed, 2, 0 for the missing x, and then 24. You bring down the first term, right? That starts at 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. Add, we get negative 15. Negative 15 times negative 3 is 45. Add, we get 45. 45 times negative 3, I chose a nice big number, didn't I? Is going to be negative 135. Add, you get negative 133. Oh no. Negative 3 times negative 133. Oh, it's not that bad. It's going to be 399. 399. Add, you get 399. I made up a great equation, didn't I? 399 times 3. All right, well, you'll be dealing probably with smaller ones than this. And it's going to be times negative 3. So that's going to be, all right, so that's going to be 27. And, well, negative. It's all going to be negative. And then 270. And then I multiply 9 times 3, 90 times 3, and then 300 times 3. So that would be, it's easier for me to do it that way. So 1197. And that is negative. So that's going to be negative 1173. So what's the remainder when 6x to the 5th plus 3x to the 4th plus 2x squared plus 24 is divided by x plus 3? The remainder is negative 1,173. If you're dividing by x plus or minus, your remainder will always be 1 degree less. So it'll always be just a number if you're dividing by x, right? Because if it had an x, you would divide again, right? So that's our remainder using synthetic division. That's all you have to do. I think this one's going to be a short video. We're done with 2 already. For the polynomial g of x, g of 5 equals 0, which of these must be a factor? Right, so if g of 5 equals 0, then x equals 5 is a solution. So now, which one will give you, this is the solution, but it says factor, right? So if x equals 5 is the solution, then x minus 5 is the factor. Right, notice if x minus 5 equals 0, we solve, x equals 5. All right, so x minus 5 is the factor, and d is the solution. Right, so you have to do the opposite to move it to the other side. So if it was g of negative 5 equals 0, then x plus 5 would be the factor. If g of 5 is 0, then x minus 5 is the factor. And 5 and negative 5 are solutions, not factors. Which of these is a shouldn't be factor, should be a solution. Which of these is a solution of y equals 2x to the 5th plus 3x to the 4th minus 30x cubed minus 57x squared minus 2x plus 24. I can't see because the chain from the plexiglass is blocking. So here we want to find the solution. Right? We have a choice of 4. What should you use? Use synthetic division. If the remainder is 0, then the value is a solution. All right, so, and let's see, are we missing anybody? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, constant. Nope, we're not missing anybody. All right, so negative 2, 2, 3, negative 30, negative 57, negative 2, 24. I didn't believe in using small equations, did I? All right. I think the one on the benchmark might be to the 4th power. But. All right, bring down the 2. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Add, we get negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 2 is 2. Add, we get negative 28. Negative 28 times negative 2 is 56. Add, we get negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 2 is 2. Add, we get 0. And 0 times anything is 0. So 24. So this one is no. Right? So that one's not it. Let's try the next one. 2. 2, 3, negative 30, negative 57, negative 2, 24. 2 times 2 is 4. Add, we get 7. 7 times 2 is 14. Add, we get negative 16. Negative 16 times 2 is negative 32. Add, we get negative 89. Negative 89 times 2 is negative 178. Add, we get negative 180. Negative 180 times 2 is negative 360. And add, we get negative 316. Definitely No. Remainder is not 0. Negative 1. 2, 3, negative 30, negative 57, negative 2, 24. Bring down, get 2. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Add, we get 1. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. Add, we get negative 29, excuse me, negative 31. Negative 31 times negative 1 is 31. Add, we get negative 26. Negative 26 times negative 1 is 26. Add, we get 24. 24 times negative 1 is negative 24. Add, we get 0. So this is a yes. Now, it wouldn't be a bad idea to check and make sure that 1 is not a solution. Because what if you made an addition error and it worked out? So it looked like it was the answer. It looked like it was the solution, but it wasn't. Right? This way, we'll make sure. Bring down the 2. 2 times 1 is 2. Add, we get 5. 5 times 1 is 5. Add, we get negative 25. Negative 25 times 1 is negative 25. Add, we get negative 82. Negative 82 times 1 is negative 82. Add, we get negative 84. Negative 84 times 1 is negative 84. And add, we get negative 60. And that's a no. So we can feel good that negative 1 was the only solution there. So we must be right on that one. Right? And so it's just a matter of using synthetic division. If you wanted, you could make these, you can use long division. And if you did use long division, this would be x plus 2. This would be x minus 2. This would be x plus 1. This would be x minus 1. But I think you'll find synthetic is a little easier. All right, so this one's a multiple choice question. Joe used the remainder theorem to find the remainder of x cubed minus 7x minus 6 divided by x minus 4. If he calculated the remainder to be 30, what does that tell him? A, it tells Joe that he made a mistake in his calculations because the remainder should always be 0. Well, we just did a whole bunch of problems, 3 of which the remainder was not 0. It's only going to be a 0 if it's a factor. And it doesn't say he divided by x minus 4, which was a factor. No, it didn't say that. All right, so this is false. It's not good. It's only going to be 0 if the factor is a fact, if it's a factor of that. So if we're choosing a solution, if we're choosing a value and it's actually a solution, then we'll get the remainder of 0, but otherwise we won't. It tells Joe that x minus 4 is a factor of x cubed minus 7x minus 6. Well, no, because if it were a factor, the remainder would be 0. If x, oops, okay, erase it without erasing everything, I don't know. If x plus 4 was a factor, or x minus 4, excuse me. Well, we'll just rewrite the word factor. So this is a no. It tells Joe that x cubed minus 7x minus 6 divided by x minus 4 equals 30. Well, no. Right? If we divide, it's what we get along the bottom. Matter of fact, if you want to know what it would be, so this would be, I'll squeeze it right here, I guess. All right, if we divide so if x minus 4 is 0, x is 4. If we're dividing by x cubed, we have 0x squared, we have negative 7x and negative 6. Bring down the 1. 1 times 4 is 4. Add, we get 4. 4 times 4 is 16. Add, we get 9. 9 times 4 is 36. Add, we get 30. So when we divide, what we actually get is, so this is the remainder, this is the constant, this is x, and this is x squared. So when we divide, we get x squared plus 4x plus 9 plus 30 divided by x minus 4. We get 30x minus 4s. That's what we get. It tells Joe that x minus 4 is not a factor. Yep, it's not a factor because the remainder is 4. If it was a factor, the remainder would be 0. Right? So make sure you know what that value means when we divide. And that's it. So I hope this helps. I hope you find this very helpful. Hope you learned a lot. It'll help you on the final as well as on the benchmark, which was what this was written for. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.